Following that presentation, we now have Paul Kim from the XPlug protocol, who will guide us through how to build a Web3 gaming and entertainment ecosystem.
Hi everyone, my name is Paul. I'm from the XPlug team. XPlug is the blockchain, it's a content-focused blockchain that is developed by one of the largest gaming companies in Korea. Today I'm here to share with you a little bit of insight into how we got to building a Web3 gaming and entertainment ecosystem on XPlug. As a content-focused blockchain built by content creators, our goal is to target games that has the vision to build value-creating entertainment ecosystems. And my aim is to drive Web3 adoption by channeling Web2 users into Web3 through games. My team and I are here this week to get our name out there. And we're here to source projects and to create partnerships to build our ecosystem together. Unfortunately, we're in the middle of one of the worst crippling events of crypto. I hope you guys are all okay. If you're not, I hope you guys can bounce back and bring back positivity back to the industry. Before I continue, I'd like to thank YGG, Blockchain Space, and everyone involved here who put this event together. I think already it's one of the best events of the year so far. As the official blockchain partner for the event, I'm really proud to be here, especially in Philippines, because it's the epicenter of the mass Web3 adoption that we saw last year through games like Axie. I'm here all week, so please, if you find me here and there, feel free to approach me, and then I'll be happy to meet as many of you as I can. So I'm going to start with talking about where we are as an industry. So from 2021 to 2022, the GameFi industry grew to become a $41 billion industry. Months since, it's declined rapidly, and the decrease was accelerated by the recent events, and now it's at about $7 billion. You can take this data with a grain of salt, but I think the overall storyline is still valid, being a scam. The consequence of that is it's really hurt the GameFi projects out there, and it's been really difficult for the projects to acquire enough funding to continue and acquire the users to be successful in this market. Despite all this, and I think everyone in here still believe in Web3 gaming and are still heavily invested into Web3 gaming. And I think together we'll be able to, push the crypto industry out of the bear market. One of the reasons why I think that is, if you look at the whole blockchain industry as a whole, NFTs, gaming, and entertainment are the driving force behind the overall adoption of crypto. This chart here it represents the North American market, but I think the same story applies to all different other markets in the world. So if you look at it, NFT, gaming, and entertainment put together drive the most number of transactions in blockchain. And what that means is that it's the most accessible gateway for new users to transition into Web3. And as a gaming industry as a whole, I think we're still years away from the industry blossoming and really becoming successful. And one of the reasons is the reality of the game development. So game development is super hard. It's really, really, really difficult. And the same applies to Web 2 game as well as the Web 3 games. We know this because we've been developing games and publishing games for the past 24 years. So if you look at Google Play Store and Apple App Store, there are thousands and thousands of games listed, with hundreds and thousands of games added every year to that list. But if you look at the share of the game's revenue, 97% of the game revenue is driven by the top 3% of the games out there. What this means is that games that are the most fun to play, that has the most strong gameplay, and that is the most engaging are the games that are succeeding. And all of the rest of the games are not really relevant in the Web 2 gaming space. So before I jump into what XPLA is about, for those of you who doesn't know who we are, I'd like to give you a little bit of context. So Come To Us is my parent company. It is one of the largest gaming companies from Korea. It's been around since 1998. We've been developing and publishing games for 24 years. And we've been part of the mobile game evolution, all the way from the Nokia phones to where we are now. And we really blew up into the scene with the emergence of the free-to-play model. And these are some of the games that we currently service. And Summoner's War is one of our largest titles so far. It's done about $3 billion in revenue so far. It still has about 1 million daily active users, and it's been widely popular all over the world. So based on the success of Summoner's War and that of other titles, we've been able to continue to look for or invest into innovation. So we continue to look for the next innovative step in gaming, and obviously for us, the next logical step was Web3. We were amazed and motivated by the success of Axie Infinity last year, so much so that we've actually pivoted the entire company from a Web2 gaming company to Web3. So what that means is that all of the new titles that we'll be launching from Come To Us will be launched on XPLA, our blockchain, as Web3 games. So although gaming is our main line of business, we are equally invested into the entertainment space. We own a total of 40 different companies, 5 of which are publicly listed companies. And a lot of the entertainment companies are focused around producing music, drama, movies, as well as management companies that manage K-pop idols and different artists. So the rise of the creator economy and the demand for higher quality content is what we're seeing in the industry right now. So with the use of blockchain technology, we're able to innovate on how the content creators and the consumers play their roles, they cross over and interact with each other. So our vision is to create a content-focused blockchain created by content creators, focusing on the entertainment vertical. We'll be starting with the games because it's the fastest source of Web3 adoption, grassroots Web3 adoption. Next, we'll be expanding our scope into the rest of the entertainment sector. And then we'll be bringing it all together with our metaverse called Come2verse, where we'll be connecting and facilitating the game, the entertainment, and the real-world services. So XPLA is a POS blockchain built on Tendermint using Cosmos SDK. We are currently running a testnet for event compatibility, will be fully integrated with EVM by February next year. And we currently have 40 initial validators that's onboarded to our chain, and we'll be adding more validators as we go along. So we're well on our way to become more and more decentralized. I want to emphasize here that XPLA is a permissionless chain. It is accessible by everyone, and it is not Comtos' own chain. Com2uS Act is, you can view it as another project. They will go through the same onboarding processes as any other project. There's no favoritism here, so it'll be fair for all the projects that will be launched. So our approach to building an ecosystem is this. We want to build an ecosystem that includes not only the large and major projects out there, but also the smaller long-tail projects. We believe that an ecosystem is only rich when we can provide an environment where different levels of projects can get funded and can iterate freely on the chain using the right tools that we have available. And there are a couple different ways for projects to build on us. So one is through strategic partnerships. By using our network and our due diligence expertise, we partner with projects that we think will bring tremendous value to the ecosystem. So recently we signed Exterio, which is the Web3 arm for FunPlus. For those of you who don't know who FunPlus is, they're one of the largest Web2 gaming studios out there who developed the game State of Survival. They'll be building exclusively on our chain. Same with Hypercomic. They are a Webtoon platform that aims to bring fair share to the Webtoon cartoon authors. So the baseline thinking here is we're focusing on building partnerships with companies that have a long track record of success over many years. Our reason for that is because we believe that these companies will be able to create not only the high quality games and content, but they'll be able to sustain and operate the games for a long period of time successfully and sustainably. So the second route is where we embrace the Web3 spirit of long tail. So the best thing about Web3 is that it's designed to provide an infrastructure for autonomous and self-run communities based on incentivization for different parties. So we offer two different Launchpad protocols on XPLA. So we have XPLA Springboard, which is funded by the community pool. It runs its own internal governance voting system for onboarding new projects onto the chain. Beta Game Launcher is a launch protocol that's a little bit more tailored to game studios who need a little bit more of a support to launch their games on the chain. So the Beta Game Launcher works like this. It's pretty simple. So users buy game fan cards, NFTs, and they use the game fan cards to play and test the games for a period of time. And once at the end of the period, they vote on whether the game stays on the platform or not. Now, Com2uS, with all of its titles, will be going through the Beta Game Launcher just like any other game companies and launch their games through the program. So who knows, some of the games might not go through. So some of the key design aspects of XPLA that I want to share is that XPLA is a community-first blockchain. What I mean by that, we have two separate pools, a reward pool and a community pool that provides revenue streams for the validators and the projects that we have on board. So the marketplace fees, DEX fees, and the transaction fees all feed into the reward pool. And this is a strong mechanism, I think, because it continues to generate value to the chain as the volume of transactions increase. And we use a portion of the treasury fund to stake and delegate to validators so that the network, for network stability and security. The second pool, our community pool, is fed by a portion of the transaction fee. And this is where all of the projects that come onto our chain will be able to get support from. So some of the grants will be coming from the community pool here. Right now, I think the operations of a lot of the layer ones right now is unsustainable in the future because the inflow, the inbound and the outbound balance of the chains are not there. It's very unbalanced, so I don't think it's a sustainable model. So we've tried to design Xpla to become a sustainable blockchain. All of the content, all of the dApps will feed into each other, so the blockchain and the dApp will feed into each other where the funds from the Xpla mainnet will help develop dApps on the blockchain, and vice versa, the dApps will also return some of the contributions back to the blockchain. This is an overview of the current ecosystem. We are in the middle of a game migration. So we have 5 games that are launched that will require game migration, and we recently launched the 6th game, Dear Ella, which passed through the beta game launcher. And we have our own wallet, we have our own explorer, and all of the dApps, the list of dApps will continue to grow as we go along. The last bit of the design of Xpla that I want to share is that it's a very user-centric blockchain. What I mean by that is XATP stands for Xpla Alternate Token Protocol, which means that for a group of whitelisted tokens, users will be able to use those tokens to pay the transaction fees. So you wouldn't need a separate fund of Xpla tokens to pay transaction fees. And we're working on dynamic NFTs that's specifically designed for games, game assets, where we'll be including composability or different features for a dynamic NFT. Yeah. And as more functions of the games are brought on chain, the smart contracts needs to be modified, and we'll be providing a modularized smart contracts to the providers. Yeah, so that's the overall view of Xpla. And I want to just end here. So Emily and myself are here all this week, so if you want to chat with us, just let us know. We'll be around the conference, or you can telegram us whenever you want. Thank you very much.
Many thanks, Paul Kim.